Hello friendos and randos, welcome back to another video. They have just released the last spoiler for OP11's super rare or higher cards, and I wanted to quickly talk through all of them, but Bandai has, madman as they are, released every single alternate art card available in OP11, so we're just going to quickly go over those as well in this video. So let's head straight into it. First things first, we do have the red cards. First we have Kujaku, Hibari, and Doll. Kujaku first is an SR, 1 cost 0 power, 1k counter. On play, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck and you may grab a Navy type card other than Kujaku and add it to your hand. The remaining goes to the bottom of your deck. Activate main once per turn. Activate main. You may send this character to the trash. Give one of your characters plus 1000 power for the turn. So pretty good. It's a searcher, of course. It does have 0 power instead of the usual 2000. But in exchange, you can use it to trash itself in order to give one of your other characters plus 1k, which is pretty good. Which means if you're using it on like a turn other than your first turn, you actually get to play it for free because you play it down and then after that replace Kujaku in your hand with a different Navy card, and then you get to give plus 1k to one of your characters. So all in all, very powerful card. Next up, we have Hibari. 5 cost 6k, no counter this time. On play, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2000 power. So it's the same effect as that 5/6 Alabasta Zoro from a very early set, OPO4, I think. It does have a when attacking effect, which is this character has plus 1000 power for the turn, which sets it to a 5/7 instead of a 5/6. So vanilla stat line, which is really powerful. And then if your leader has the Navy type, you can give it the ability to attack active characters until the end of the turn, which is really good as well. It looks like Kobe's effect is going to be like his form of removal is going to be punching active characters or just using power reduction and that kind of removal instead of the usual black removal options, which I think is a pretty interesting take for a red-black kind of control leader. So I'm pretty excited for that to happen, for Kobe to come out and for us to get to start testing him. I do know that I rated him a little bit low in my initial rating of the OP11 leaders, but I think all of the support that has come out so far has made it seem like he's actually a lot more powerful than I gave him at first look. Now we're just going to talk about the Doll rare as well, since she did get an alternate art. She is a rare, not a super rare. 4 cost 1k power blocker. You may discard 1 card from your hand, and then after that, if your leader has the Navy type, you may give one of your opponent's characters minus 6000 power for the turn. So this is really good removal as well, because you do get to reduce a very big body into minus 6k, so that turns 9ks into 3ks, which is really good. It turns things like 6k bodies into 0, so even your Hibari can smack into it. And remember, you are able to attack active characters, you are able to attack characters on the turn they are played with Kobe, characters with the sword archetype, of course. So that means if your opponent's character is at 0 power, you can play a Kujaku, smack into the opposing 0 power character and then use the Kujaku to give that 1k back to another character. So that's really good in terms of the total combo power you have. There are also a few lines that you can play with Moria. If Kobe does end up playing Moria as a card, we do see things like 1 cost Robin and 2 cost Bato, Lumiu, Kuma as options to come off of it as well. So you're going to be able to do Doll minus 6k to something, and then after that you can play Kuma or Robin to KO another 2k or a 1k character. So both really powerful, and of course power reduction is much stronger than cost reduction because you can interact with power with any character on board, whereas cost reduction needs you to have like a specific second piece, like a KO X cost kind of card. So I think really powerful. I think while it does cost 1 card, I think it's probably worth it for such a powerful effect. For green, we have our big boys here. We have Jinbei and Arlong. Jinbei 6/8 super rare. On play, if your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type, then you may rest one of your opponent's 5 cost or lower characters. So pretty good. It works for Fishman, so it works for Jinbei, the new Jinbei leader. It works for Arlong. It also works for Hody Jones. And then it also works for Merfolk leaders, so that means the new Shirahoshi will also be able to use Boss Jinbei here. Next is activate main once per turn. One of your Fishman or Merfolk type characters will be able to attack characters on the turn that they are played. So this gives them like that Corrida Coliseum kind of effect, where you are able to attack characters right away. You get rush of sorts only towards characters, which is really, really powerful. So 6-8, really good stat line. No counter, of course, but still a very good stat line. It also lets you rest the character, and this again applies to himself. His activate main can be used on himself, so he will be able to rush 8k into a 5 cost character on the turn he's played. So this is really, really, really powerful. I think it's going to be very strong in Shirahoshi. I think it's going to be very good in maybe Holy Jones, maybe Arlong, and I think Jinbei, of course, he himself will really, really like this card. And I'm really excited for this as well, because again, activate main once per turn means after the Jinbei is played, he uses it on himself. He can then use it on the next fishman that you decide to play. And speaking of the next fishman you decide to play, we do have this Arlong character, which is also pretty good. 7 cost 7k power, which seems mid at first, but then you see the effect in your hand. If your leader has the fishman type and your own life is 3 or less, and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards on their board, so cards notably means non-characters, stages, etc, etc, then this character has cost -3 in your hand. So that means it becomes a 4 cost character instead of a 7 cost. So this is extremely good for Arlong leader, I think, because you are going to be able to play this off your leader effect, because it does have a trigger, the trigger being rest one of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters, which is pretty standard, like green trigger, but being on a character like this is really, really nice to have. So having this 4 cost 7k beater is going to be very, very good for Arlong. I think Jinbei will appreciate it as well, even though it may take him a bit longer to hit that 3 life. Still having a 4 cost 7k body is really, really good, and it does even have that 1k counter, which is really, really good as well. So I think this Arlong card is going to be one of the best support for fishman type leaders that we will see. Notably, Shirahoshi will not be able to use this card. I don't really mind that. I think it's lore relevant anyway. But Arlong being a really good card for Jinbei, for Holy Jones, for the Arlong leaders, I think that's really, really good. Looking forward to see this card being used a little bit more. Personally, don't like Arlong very much, but it is what it is. Alright, so those are the 2 green cards that we get. Green only gets 1 SR this set, no SEC either. So green still getting a little bit of the short end of the stick as far as powerful cards are concerned. But let's move on to the next color, which I think has gotten a lot of love from Bandai this set, which is blue. So first we have the SRs and the R ratio. We also have the SEC, which we'll talk about at the end with the rest of the SECs. So first we have Sanji here. He is making the wedding cake, titular wedding cake of the Whole Cake Island arc. 6 cost 7k power, no counter, and it has a passive effect, which is if this character were to be KO'd by an opponent's effect, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you can play a cost 5 or lower Straw Hat Crew type character card. Then you place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So this is a 6/7 that when KO'd lets you spawn a 5 cost character, so that's really, really strong. Of course, not only that, the character actually comes from your deck instead of from your hand, so you're actually not going to lose cards for that effect as well. And then one last thing is that notably, you do have to rig, I guess, the top of your deck, but you do have quite a few cards that can actually do that for you. And if you're using this in the blue-purple Luffy leader, for example, you are going to be able to rig your top deck every turn anyway, so this is going to be a pretty powerful card for that purpose. His on-play effect is you may return a 5000 power, original power, or less character to the owner's hand. So notably, it doesn't have to be your opponent's, or so you can also use it on your own characters, which is pretty nice. And one more thing notably is that this does have the Vinsmoke family archetype on top of the Straw Hat Crew archetype. I don't believe we have a secondary searcher for this yet. I think currently the only searchers are for Germa instead, but I think this is notable that it does have that additional type as well. Alright, next we have the Nami card. She is in her Whole Cake Island outfit using Thunderlance Temple or something like that. 5/6, 1k counter blocker. On play, if your leader is mixed colored, then draw 3 cards, and then after that you can place 2 cards at the top or bottom of your deck in any desired order. So this has power craft to the 5 cost ace for mixed colored leaders at least. It's really good. It's a Straw Hat type. They've obviously made it this way so that you can't use it with Nami leader, and I think it's pretty good that you can't use this with Dofi leader as well, because Dofi having a 5/6 +1 blocker is going to be kind of insane too. But I think it's a really good card. I think Luffy and Nami will both really enjoy having this additional cycle. Other characters, other leaders, sorry, that may spring to mind that may benefit from this are like Red Blue Mako. I think any mixed color blue leader will actually just really like this additional ability to like just draw. But I think in particular anyone that runs 9 cost Sanji will really like the ability to put it back at the top of your deck. And for the rare, we do have Reiju. Reiju does get a little bit of support in this set from what we've seen. So far we know that she has this Reiju card as well as a Judge card, which doesn't look that good. But anyway, this Reiju card looks really powerful. 4 cost 5k, 2k counter. And then on play, you may look at, if your leader has the Vinsmoke family type, then look at the top 5 cards of your deck, grab a Germa type card, a card with Germa in its types, and then after that, put the rest of the cards into your trash, which is really, really powerful. Being able to fill the trash really quickly is Reiju to let you set up your henshin turns is really good. So this can be up to like a +4 in terms of how much cards you actually get, because sometimes you get like four big bodies, 4 big Reijus, Ichijis, Nijis, whatever, and put them in your trash. And straight away, that gives you a lot of like leeway already. Not only that, this is actually an additional target for the 4 cost Reiju, for your 2 cost Reiju. So you can use your 2 cost Reiju to bring this from your trash if instead of just drawing 2, you would actually prefer to search for one specific card and then also fill up your trash a little bit more. This is a very good additional option for your Reiju leader as well. Not only that, because you can actually play this on curve instead of forcing it off of your leader effect or like off of one of your 2 cost Reijus, this will actually let you keep your Dawn a little bit higher in the later stages of the game as well. So that's pretty nice if you're going to just play a Reiju raw. I think this is not too bad as well. So those are the blue cards, the SRs as well as Reiju. I think all of the art looks really, really good as well. I really like the Reiju in particular. I think Nami looks really nice. It does look a little bit treasure cruisy, but I think it still looks pretty good. And Sanji, of course, looks great as well. As a fun fact, of all the sets that are out in One Piece right now, only 4 sets don't have a Sanji AA, which is pretty interesting. Next up, we have the purple alternate arts, and we did see, of course, the Sanji in his groom outfit. So, of course, we need to have Pudding in her bride outfit as well as the art. So first off, 1 cost 0 power searcher again, just like Kajaku. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then grab a cost 2 or higher Big Mom Pirates type card and add it to your hand. Then put the remaining at the bottom of your deck. So notably, it has a similar stipulation to the 1 cost purple law, where you can only grab 2 cost or higher characters. This means things like Flampe, Pudding herself, and the yellow Pudding are also all out of reach. But she is able to grab other Pudding cards that I think the most notable one being the 3 cost Pudding, the purple one, that allows you to re-ramp Dawn. So I think this was their little compromise, so that you would be able to grab that 3 cost Pudding, but you wouldn't be able to grab the 1 cost Pudding Searcher. Her activate main is Dawn -1, rest this character, then you can look at the top card of your opponent's deck. So not the best effect, I would say, in terms of the activate main. You already do kind of get that ability off of your leader effect, so not really sure what the main use case for this is right now, but I think we will see whether or not this does end up being useful or not. Next up, we have the 8 cost 8k power Katakuri SR. Same stat line as his SEC, which is kind of cute. Other than that, it also has the same stat line as the SEC Snake Man Luffy in this set, which is, I think, kind of nice, like lore-wise as well. Like 8-8, he is evenly matched with Snake Man Luffy, but after that, like the Wano Luffys that you see, the 9-10 and the 10-12 Luffys, have surpassed him. So I think that's kind of nice, like as a lore kind of shout out. He is a 8-8 blocker. So again, he's opposite to the 8-8 SEC Luffy, which has Rush instead. And his effect is at the end of your turn, you may set up to 2 of your 3 cost or higher Big Mom Pirate types cards as active. And then you may ramp 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck rested. So this is pretty nice. It gives you a refund on your leader effect, which is also good. Not only that, it lets you restand 2 of your characters. So this works with the Pudding, I guess, because she will rest herself to use this effect, and then after that, you can restand it at the end of the turn. Not only that, it also restands itself because it is a blocker, so you can use it to sing 8/8, and then after that you can restand it to block again with it next turn, which is pretty nice as well. I think the most important thing is probably the ramp, and notably, right, this is actually not leader locked, so you can use this in any purple deck to restand. Again, I mean, you don't have to restand any other Big Mom Pirates type cards in other purple decks, but just being able to restand itself is really, really good as a 8/8 blocker that kind of restands itself and also lets you ramp a Dawn every turn. I think some other notable cards is maybe in decks like Purple Yellow Robin, you will be able to restand this as well as your 8/8 Katakuri, your 6/7 Big Mom, or things like that. And anything else that comes to mind, maybe the 5/6 Katakuri. I think those are like the main ones that come to mind right now. As in terms of like targets that you can restand. 3 cost or higher also means you can hit the 3 cost pudding, the one that ramps, or 3 costs are higher, so you can't actually use this to restand the searcher. So ignore what I said about that earlier. But yeah, you can use it to restand the 3/4 pudding, which is also nice. Just to give it like a little, like maybe you can give a little tricky 5k swing and then restand it, so you just protect that Dawn re-ramp. So that's nice as well. Lastly, we do have Big Mom herself eating a whole Croquembouche. Insane art, by the way. All of the art in this set has been crazy so far, and I think it looks really, really good. So 10-12, Big Mom Pirates, of course, as the captain. If your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, this character gains Rush, so really, really good. 10-12, just Rush character, holy crap. Just punches your opponent for a huge amount. Interesting effect is, on your opponent's attack, Dawn -5, you may declare a cost. So you can just say like between 1 to 10, you can just say any number, and then after that, your opponent has to review the top card of their deck. And if the reviewed card is the same cost that you declared, then your leader gets plus 2k for the turn. So this is a really interesting effect. It gives you plus 2k for the turn in exchange for Dawn -5. So Dawn -5 is really, really expensive. There isn't really that many options to re-ramp, like up to 5 Dawn in one turn. I mean, Black Maria is obviously the most obvious option, but otherwise you don't really have that much re-ramp available in a game, right? So being able to do this effect is kind of weird. It does take a lot out of your ability to ramp and your ability to play characters the following turn and to punch people. But you have a 10-12 and you are also 7k base for the turn. So that's really powerful as well. I'm not sure when you're going to use this. Probably it's going to be like during your when your opponent is trying to go for lethal, right? And then you just have this, you just stick this 10-12 mum on the board, you use your leader effect, see your opponent's top deck, and then after that you just say, okay, now what? I am 7k base Katakuri, do your best, you know? So it's pretty interesting. Notably, this actually isn't locked to it's not locked to Katakuri leader, although you wouldn't probably want to use this in a non-Katakuri deck because you won't get the rush. But yeah, I think it's a very, very interesting effect. I think it's very gimmicky, but it could be very powerful, so I'm looking forward to see what the Katakuri fans cook up for that Katakuri leader. As it stands right now, it does still look like he's going to be probably like the worst or second worst of the new leaders, but we will again judge again later. So next we have the black cards, and Black Navy always goes hard with the arts. Even Helmeppo looks kind of cool here, which is crazy to say. So here we have Helmeppo, Garp, and Kuzan. Helmeppo, Garp being the SRs. We also have a Kobe SEC. Garp, Kuzan is just a rare. So Helmeppo's effect is, on play, you may discard one card from your hand, then draw a card, and after that you may grab a 8 cost or lower sword type character other than Helmeppo from your trash and play it. Then at the end of your turn, the character that was played from your trash with this effect goes to the bottom of its owner's deck. So pretty powerful. It's a 6/7 that lets you not only draw a card, like you get to throw a card and then draw a card, so it's net neutral, right? In terms of cost, but you're also able to play a 8 cost character from your trash. So for example, if you had a 8 cost Kobe already sitting in your trash, you could play that for 6, and then you just get a 6/7 and a 8-9 character. Not only that, this however has sword as well, so in Kobe leader you are going to be able to use him to attack on the turn he's played on a rested character, and with the Kobe coming off of him from the trash pause with the Kobe that you play from trash with his effect, you're also going to be able to attack an active character with your 8-9 Kobe. So that's really, really powerful. Not only that, because you do have that 4 Dawn left over, you can use that to play the doll that we talked about earlier, the red doll, and then give one of your opponent's characters minus 6k, which makes it even more easy to remove with your Helmeppo or with your Kobe. So really, really, really good card. Getting you top warrior was crazy. You get a 6 cost worth from a 8 cost character. Now we have a 6 cost character that gives you a 8 cost from your trash. So that's really, really strong. I think Kobe got significantly more powerful with this card being revealed. Of course, the best target is going to be Kobe only. You are also able to get like Kujaku, you're able to get Hibari, but I don't think you really want to get either of those cards. Kobe is probably going to be your primary target for this Helmeppo card. They do, I think, of SWOT in the manga right now, the only other known member of SWOT is X-Drake. We don't have a card of him yet, but hopefully he is going to be a decent enough powerful card, which can also be a good target for this Helmeppo. Next is Garp. He looks great here, holy crap. He is in Hachinosu beating the shit out of people. Just did his Galaxy Impact probably. 8 cost, 8k power, strike. On play, you may bottom deck 3 cards with the Navy type from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Give your leader 1 rested Dawn, and then if there is a 9 cost or higher character on the board, you can KO a 7 cost or lower character. The effect is quite lackluster when you're thinking of what leaders you're going to be using it in. It's actually only really viable in the ST14 Black Luffy, the 3D2Y Luffy, and other than that, I don't think it is actually that good. You aren't able to like turn it on very easily. Having a cost 9 on the board while he himself is an 8 cost is kind of weird. Like he synergizes well with that Luffy, being able to give 1 cost to the whole board. And also, I guess, Purple Black Luffy's effect. However, Purple Black Luffy doesn't like play Navy cards very much, and it doesn't play Navy cards very well, so that's gonna be another issue. The other thing is that if you are like, it counts current cost. So for example, if you're trying to use this to remove one of your opponent's like 9 cost characters, and you turn that 9 cost into a 7 cost so you can remove it, it doesn't count for the requirement for the cost anymore. So it's just a really, really weird effect. I think they tried to like make it like lore accurate of sorts. He needs some form of support. He isn't as strong as he used to be. He's no longer like a 9 cost worthy kind of character. But man, I really, I like the lore accuracy. I just don't like the power of the card. I think it's really, really weak. So it's a shame too, because this is Akira Egawa art. It looks so good. But yeah, Garp, probably one of the worst SRs they've released in recent time. Lastly, we do have Kuzan, pretty good Kobe support as well. He's a 4/5 1k counter Navy type character. On play, you may mill 3 cards. On play, mill 3 cards from the top of your deck. Is not a may. It's not up to. You just mill 3, and then when attacking, one of your Navy leader or characters can attack active characters this turn. So notably, he isn't SWOT type, so you won't be able to rush on the turn he's played. So you won't get that when attacking effect right away, which is a bit of a shame. But I think it's not a bad option for Kobe still. He does let you mill 3, which will help you with your Kobe leader effect, because Kobe doesn't have as many forms of mill other than like brand new. So this Kuzan is a pretty good, like, just a stopgap on like your 4-Dawn turn. As of now, he doesn't really have that great of a 4-Dawn turn, so not bad. Again, also lets your rest of your board attack active characters. So next turn you can play your Hibari, and then Kuzan swing leader gives Hibari the ability to attack active, and then Hibari swing and give your leader the ability to attack active, and suddenly you actually have a pretty strong board. So that's pretty nice in terms of deck combo specifically as well. So that's it for the black SRs and Rs. Let's talk about yellow. So yellow only gets 1 SR this set, and he is a banger of an SR as a GY Law fan. Let's talk about the SR first. 2 cost, 1k power, 1k gut, blocker, once per turn. if one of your supernova type characters were to be removed by one of your opponent's effects other than Capone Bitch, instead you may add that character to the top of your life face down. So this is a really powerful effect. It is kind of like the 3-cost Tashigi. It only protects supernovas, of course, but it puts them to the top of your life. So actually it heals you. So that's really strong. Notably, this also works on blockers and stuff like that, right? So if your opponent is trying to KO one of your blockers, sorry, it's not even KO, it's remove from board, sorry. So if your opponent is trying to like bounce one of your blockers to hand, like Dofi is trying to go for lethal, tries to bounce your other blocker to hand, you can heal that blocker instead. So that's really powerful. Of course, it applies to other than Beige, so they can just bounce the Beige instead. But if they're trying to do something like Gravity Blade or something like that, you get to protect one of your cards and send it to your life instead. So that's really strong. I think fantastic card for Green Yellow Law. Fantastic card for Yellow Kid as well. So I think really good. Next, we do have Zeus. So revealed already, but just a quick reminder: 2 cost, 2k power, 2k guard. You may take the top or bottom card of your life to your hand, then you can KO one of your opponent's 5 cost or lower characters. Really strong card. Does a lot for Nami, I think, and will also be a very good card in Black Yellow Luffy, I think. So very excited to get this card. This art looks really nice as well, really cute. Zeus is just he's a cute little guy. He looks nice. This is him in Wano, but actually he has the homie / Big Mom Pirates type. So he is still considered a Big Mom Pirate for the card, although technically I guess now he's part of the Straw Hats. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they print future Zeus cards. But really happy for this card. I think it's really good. Yellow always getting cracked 2k counters. Just name a better combo. Quickly talk about the SECs. As I mentioned earlier, the 8/8 SEC Luffy Snake Man. He has Rush, and his other effect is when attacking, you may discard 1 card from your hand, return one of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters to their hand. Return a 4 cost or lower character to its owner's hand. Then give one of your leaders or characters 1 rested Dawn. So pretty good, especially in the Blue Yellow Nami, because you are going to be able to use it to for 1, rush 8 costs 8k into somebody's face, and then you're also able to bounce a character. So this can be very good for lethal turns especially, but not only that, because it does give 1 rested Dawn, even if you play it on curve, you're going to be able to activate your Nami leader effect, which does have that Dawn times 1 effect, to get that 2k base for the turn. So looks really good. Snake Man, one of my favorite forms as well. I think it looks really nice. Happy that it got another it got a Snake Man. We got a Snake Man card. Alright, next is the 8/9 Kobe. So at this point, this means Kobe is stronger than Snake Man Luffy. Alright, that's what card game has told us. 8/9 on play, up to one of your characters this turn can attack active characters, so really good. Of course, can target yourself, Kobe himself, so he's a 9k rush into active characters character. Very strong. And then when attacking, you may send 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 1k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that makes Kobe a 6k base leader. So they're actually going all in, like they're going really hard on the 6k base or higher leader in this set. We're having it for the Kobe. We have, of course, Blue Purple Luffy, who is naturally 6k base, and we also have Nami, who will get the plus 2k base with that Dawn times 1 effect, and we also have the Katakuri, who can get that 7k base with the 10 cost Big Mom's effect. So a lot of more than 5k base effects this set. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it looks good, but interesting that they are going so hard on this like specific mechanic as well. They're also doing a lot of like rush into characters, like both with the Jinbei as well as Kobe. So I think it's a pretty interesting direction that they're choosing in terms of like how they want to do control. So that's cool. Kobe here looks great, about to honestly impact the shit out of Pizarro. I think it's a great card. The art looks really good as well. So really excited to pull this card, hopefully. Navy / sword type as well, of course. So yeah, usable off of the Kobe leader effect, which is really good. Alright, and that is all of the SRs and SECs, they definitely gave blue and black a little bit more love this set, as usual. As usual, black getting more love as usual. I think otherwise overall, I think all of the SRs are actually very powerful. The searchers being 1-0 is a bit of a turn off for me. Especially Pudding. Pudding is really weak, I think. Her effect is really lackluster. Kujaku is actually pretty good, so Kujaku, no hate on Kujaku. Otherwise, I think the strongest card that they probably printed is this Kobe with respect to Kobe leader. But generically, I think Luffy is much better. Just because he's a generic card, like you can use it like to just attack. Like he is just generic rush. He's 8/8 generic rush for blue, right? Very good. Not only that, it's generic removal, bounce a 4-cost character. So this works really well, especially against Jesus Burgess. Against Blackbeard, you play Luffy down, you on play, rush, punch Blackbeard in the face, and then after that, bounce his Jesus Burgess to hand. So really good. And like the Blackbeard can't really play around it that much either. Even if he drops a 10-cost Blackbeard later, you drop this Luffy again and then bounce his Burgess. Like if he's trying to play around it by staying at 5-cost Kuzan and not calling the Burgess out for a while, then you can just wait and then clear the Burgess with a rush Luffy when the time is right. So that's really powerful as well. So I think this Luffy is probably the most powerful between the two of these SECs. In terms of SRs total, I also think he's probably the strongest one in terms of overall strength. But I mean, if anyone has a different idea, you can correct me. I think Beige is going to be insane for Green Yellow Law. I'm really excited to get him as well. Okay, some more alternate arts that they've revealed. 3 event alternate arts. Kamusari was really good, so they just printed 3 more, and we get 3 bangers right away. We get Honesty Impact, we get Gear Second, and we get Red Hawk, the Doflamingo version specifically, from Dressrosa. All of them bangers, one after the other. They look so good. And these are normal alternate arts as well, so they just come in the set normally, so they're not like mangas. They don't have like a special hit rate or anything. So really happy. They look really good. So excited they're continuing to do more of this like event card manga style. I think it looks really great. And then they also revealed the SPs for the set. Sanji gets another fucking alternate art. He's getting so much. Like, it's insane how much support Sanji gets from Bandai. Holy crap. So first off, we get Silver's Rayleigh, the 5/6 old, like young Rayleigh when he's still in the Roger Pirates, looking very strong and scary as the first mate of the Roger Pirates. Looks really nice. I really like this like poker card aesthetic with like the little symbol, like the Jolly Roger in the top left or the bottom right corner. Like in all 4 of the corners actually. It just looks kind of like a poker card, which is really nice. But all of them have like their own like I guess like significance. So we have Rayleigh, the 5/6 blocker, draw 2, discard 1, as you know. Shanks looking good. He has his Jolly Roger as well in each of the corners, has that diamond, and also his pants pattern on the background as well. You can also see like a couple of swords to signify him being a swordsman, I guess. Looks really good. This is the ST 911 Shanks, by the way, the one that KOs the arrested character. Very powerful card, so as expected gets a very nice alternate art. Next we have the 99 SEC Sanji as well. We place a 9-cost character from the top of your deck Sanji. Really nice. Has a little plate. Plate background in the back. Has some little food as well, like some wine and a fish. And then we also see his own Jolly Roger in the top corners as well. Looks really good. I like this style for the SPs this set. And then of course we have Luffy again. We have Luffy Taro, this time 7/8, another ST reprint, alternate art. So it looks really nice as well, holding the Nidai Kitetsu. His own Jolly Roger, of course the Straw Hat Jolly Roger in each of the corners as well. So it just looks very nice, very Japanesey Luffy Taro card. Then we have Stussy. She has the world government logo in the corners, a little heart shape behind her roses as well. Looks really pretty as well. I think it's a very nice card. It's a very nice like circle, like very round kind of shapes around her card for the most part. And then lastly we have Shirahoshi. She has like just I don't think there's like a Fishman Island kind of design. It is just a like swirl pattern, I guess. Yeah, this is the 2-cost EVO1 Shirahoshi blocker, pretty good card. Of course, sees a lot of play in NL. Saw some play in Yellow Kid as well. Pretty strong card overall. So gets a nice SP. Pretty good. He has a leader this set too. Just getting some love. I think Rebecca has a lot of love already. Has an SP as well. So I mean, maybe we'll see a VV SP next set. Who knows? And here is the controversial manga reveal. It is another Luffy manga. I think this is like the 4th one in 5 sets. So yeah, we are getting a lot of Luffy mangas recently. As much as I love Luffy, I think it would be nice if some of the other characters get mangas now. I think we have repeats. We have enough repeated Luffys. We have 2 repeated laws. Let's get the rest of the Straw Hats at least a manga each before we do another Luffy. Please, Bandai, please. Alright. Down card's really nice. It's just Luffy and Sanji both saying, I trust in me, you know, so that's nice. I think this scene is Luffy and Sanji both saying like they trust each other to settle their respective fights. Sanji with the cake, Luffy with Katakuri, so pretty nice. One last thing I forgot to mention, we also get the 3rd anniversary special card. Holy shit, looks so good. It's just the Gear 5th NECA card, but like in silver and gold, but I think it just looks really, really nice. So I'm really excited for them to reprint this again. I don't have the manga, so I hope this is gonna be like a bit cheaper so that I can actually like grab one of these. So yeah, really excited for this card to get printed as well. And that is all of the OP11 announcements so far. If you missed it, here you go, they're all here. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like, of course. Leave me any feedback you want in your comments. Let me know which card you're looking forward to trying out most, as well as which leader you think is going to be really, really good. Right now my bets are still on probably Nami, and then I think now Kobe has moved up to like maybe 2nd best with all of the support that he's gotten. But otherwise, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys again next time, friendos and randos. Peace out. Bye bye.